Hello again. Today is Q&A day for June 24th, 2011. But before I start, I wanted to talk a little bit about how the book is progressing. And first of all, give a huge, gigantic thank you to Yuko and Ananth of Johnny Wander. Both of them have been very, very helpful for bouncing off ideas and giving me suggestions on this entire publishing process. Getting the files set up, figuring out how to do like the copyright page, all that other stuff, page count, and especially this past week, the cover, which has kicked my ass up and down the street for I don't know how long. So, without those two, I think this book would look a lot worse than it does right now. And it's all thanks to their advice and, them not telling me to shut the fuck up every time I had a question to ask. So thank you guys. Next time you're in town, I'm taking you to the best ramen place ever. So the book is off to the printers now. I'm waiting for them to send me proofs so I can take a look at it and drool over it, because I've never seen an actual book proof, let alone my own stuff before. And what I'm going to do is do a digital version that people can buy online when the book launches, and I'm planning on launching it at Small Press Expo. So I think I'll actually have them in hand a little before then, but to give myself some time to figure out how to ship them and what else I want to do, I'm going to launch it right at SPX. And along with that, I'm going to do a digital version, probably a PDF or like an EPUB version, and sell that online. So you can purchase the digital version whenever you want, or if you buy the print edition, I'm going to have like a little card in there with information on how to download a digital version, because I kind of feel like in this day and age it really makes sense to offer a digital version if people are actually going out to buy the print copy. So we'll see how well that works. Never done anything like that before, but anyway. So yeah, today is Q&A day. I solicited on various sites that I have on the Yellow Apparel Comics site, my Tumblr, the Facebook page, to ask for questions for people, to ask me questions that I'd answer on Friday. And I got like two, sort of, so I'll just go through them briefly, and maybe if I don't get any more, I won't do the segment. But alright, so here goes. Let's see. Songwind on Tumblr asks, what specifically moved you to do all physical rather than digital creation for an online comic? Very good question. I don't think I've ever done just a full digital comic before. I've done plenty of straight up digital illustrations for like covers and just my own personal work, but I've never done straight up all digital for like a long form comic. I've always done my line art on paper, inked it or not, scanned it, and then colored it in Photoshop or cleaned it up in Photoshop or what have you. So I guess it's just my comfort with traditional media. Like I love drawing on paper. I love the feel of paper. I love inking. Inking is one of my favorite things to do now. Now that I've learned how to use the brush. Well, I'm still learning, but ever since I picked up the brush to do my inking, I just love doing it. It's a lot of fun. You get a good feel. There's a little bit of chaos involved because my brush control isn't the best, and especially using ink wash, there's a lot of chaos involved. Like it's very difficult to get precision in terms of shading and things like that. So I like the unpredictability of it, I guess. I feel like when I do things digitally, there's so much control I have over every little aspect that I can tend to go a little overboard. So I really enjoy drawing, and drawing on paper is the best, and inking on paper is the best. But there's also another practical aspect to doing comics traditionally. If I ever get to the point where I'm super popular, crossing fingers, I can actually sell those originals if I need to make money for rent or stuff like that. So having original paper originals is pretty cool. If it's all digital, there is no original to sell, so there's that concern. But really, it's mostly because I like doing it, so that's why. And also, I wanted to do it traditionally to see how it would fit in a print collection, which I've been working towards for the past year, well, the first year of the comic, and now that's coming to fruition. So, I mean, I could have done it digitally too. It's just, I don't know, I kind of wanted to. I guess I could have just said that. Alright, so moving on, I got one other question, which really wasn't, it was a whole bunch of suggestions for things to talk about, from somebody called Kwadwo, Kwadwo, on the comic site, and he had a couple of suggestions, but I'm going to do the one that relates most to working traditionally versus digitally. He wanted me to do an analysis on rendering techniques. For example, Kane on the YP comic cover looks tonally rendered and smoothed out and junk. Yes, he does. So the cover, I've always wanted to be a cover artist, and I figured my cover would be a great place to start. So I wanted to do some kind of illustration that was more than just a pinup of the characters like you see on your traditional comic book covers. You know, you just see them standing in a cool pose, and then maybe a background, and then the title. And I wanted to do something a little more illustrative, so I kind of mixed techniques. The background characters are all inked like I normally do, but then I colored them in Photoshop, sort of like a manga style, anime style coloring, where it's just cel shaded over basic shading, so flat shading, cel shading. And then the train, the Metro train, is all digital from the line art to the final rendering. And Kane, the lead figure Kane, started out as a pencil sketch that I did some heavy rendering and scanned in. And over the iterations, the final version is just all straight digital. But between that and the first one, it was kind of a combination of techniques. It was kind of a combination of pencil rendering and digital painting over that. And I just figured that I wanted the cover to kind of pop, and I have a lot of control when I render digitally. So that's kind of why I decided to go digital for the cover and not all traditional, just mixing stuff. Also, I was working at a huge file size, and there was a lot of detail, and I wanted to be able to make corrections quickly, and the best way to do that is, for me at least, is to work digitally. So it's all in the computer. If I need to make a correction, I can just erase it, start over, or repaint something. And I ended up doing like 5 different versions of Kane's face. So yeah, so that's the theory behind why I did the cover mostly digitally. Yeah, so that's it for questions. I got 2 this week. Maybe I'll get some more next week. If not, Friday's update will be something completely different. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask about the comic, or about the illustration process that goes into making the comic, or anything specific about like storylines or anything like that, please drop me a note. You can post on the website, you can hit me up on Tumblr, email me, send me a Twitter, video response, video question, whatever, and I'll try to post something on Friday. So thanks for tuning in, and thank you to, let's see, my brain is mush. Thank you to Songwind and Kwadwo for your questions, and I'll see you next week. Bye.